All right, so I definitely believe that media buying is honestly the most important part to building and scaling an actual agency. Now, anybody can cold call, anybody can send out SMS, anybody can run ads, and anybody can book an appointment, quite honestly, and you can make a sale. You can make, your first 10, 20, 30K online. But if you don't know how to actually make your service undeniably good, make your service the best in the game, and just continue to refine your craft in all aspects, but specifically media buying one day at a time and just improve one thing every single day, then you're just going to churn people. And if you're in the beginning of your journey and if you really haven't joined any mentorships or any programs and you're doing everything yourself, you're going to lose people. That's just inevitable and it's going to happen and it's not going to be fun and it's going to suck. But I would say that this video is going to help those more so in the beginning, or even quite honestly, even if you have more than 10 clients, it's going to help you because media buying is difficult. It is, but once you kind of get it and once you kind of crack it, it just becomes easy when it comes to fatigue and testing, and you know what things are going to rip and what things aren't going to. Now, I would say with media buying, start with funnel hacking every single person you know. Start with funnel hacking your competition. Maybe you know some people who have other agencies. Funnel hack everybody, see what they're doing because that's the truth. You simply go to Facebook Ads Library, you tap on the search bar, you enter whatever company it is. You see what they're running, but you also see how you can make it better. If you can, because in this game, you don't have to be 100% better. All you have to do is just be 5% better than your competition, and the results are going to be exponential, not linear. Now, media buying. There are red lines that I follow, and one of those red lines is 150 ad spend and over 3,000 clicks. If there are no leads after this, turn it off. Now, guys, KPIs are, you can break down the KPIs if you're super ADHD with numbers and understand everything with CPM, clicks, unique click through rate, unique click through rate, all of those KPIs that you kind of keep in mind as you're running the ads. Now, there is a specific breakdowns to each of them, but the bottom line is this: if there's been 150 spent and over 3,000 clicks and still no leads, turn it off. I've had ads just completely rip after 2 3 days of nothing, and you have to give it time, and that goes with starting to set the expectations with your clients, and always tell them that the first week is typically the slowest because we test everything, we throw everything at the wall, we see what sticks, what doesn't sticks, and it's also why ads typically perform better over time because you have the pixel and it's kind of telling the ad what a good lead is and what a good lead isn't. So kind of set those expectations with your clients, but this is a media focused video. So this is the red line that I follow. 150 ad, 3,000 clicks. Again, KPIs, all that stuff, you can look at them, but this is the bottom line factor. Now, I personally use only one ad set. Only one ad set. And I know some people in this space, some of my friends, they do multiple ad sets and just run one video or one image under each ad set. And quite honestly, I've done both, so have they. My preference is just one ad set, run it broad. You can do either by zip codes or by a pinpoint and a radius around it for when actually targeting. And the way you do that is with your client on the onboarding call. You simply open up another tab, go to Google Maps, and just ask them, hey, so the way we target things, it's either by zip code or a pin and a radius around it. How far north, east, west, south are you willing to go? Through there, and that's how you're going to be targeting in your ad set level. And it's pretty straightforward, it's pretty simple, and you just ask the client what they're doing. Now most markets as well, and depending on the service area, if you're in a big metropolitan area, there are suburbs that are kind of less tapped, a little bit more of a blue ocean, as opposed to just absolute saturation and sharks in the water. With if you're in like New York and you're certain towns in New Jersey, Florida, Texas, certain cities within those states. So there are suburbs of certain markets that are super untapped and incredible to kind of break into if your client is willing to go outside the service area. Now, when it comes to what to actually test everything. When you onboard your clients, you ask them for everything, all videos, all images, and you kind of ask them as well to kind of give you what you think is going to work. And in this game, the more personal, the better. People don't like to be sold things down their throat anymore. Even yourself watching this, when you're on social media scrolling and you just see an ad that screams ad, that's unattractive. Who the hell wants to click on that? It's unattractive. It doesn't perform well. And I mean, I'm from New York personally, and when I'm back home, I just see so many shit ads, and I'm like, oh my God, these ads are absolutely terrible because most people get, guys, the truth is, most people, especially in the contracting niche, they're going to think they can do it themselves. And that's a huge fallacy and just terrible mindset to have. And it's like saying, yeah, I can build a roof myself. Like, no, I don't know how to build a roof. And I'm assuming contractors don't know how to market. Now, that's another important part that you can kind of sell when on a sales call or when pitching. And that's, hey, listen, my job is to put you in front of as many homeowners as possible. Your job is to build roofs. I don't know how to do your job. I'm assuming you don't know how to do my job. Let's just complement each other and keep it as that, a separate issue. But but that's because sometimes I'll just see ads that are absolutely terrible when I'm back in New York or wherever I am. But again, all you have to be is 5% better. You don't have to be 100% better, just 5%. And the results are exponential, not linear, which is super cool. So I use only ad set. No, terrible. I use only one ad set. Again, really test everything yourself. I know some people use multiple ad sets. And another massive nugget, and this is real sauce, is think of ad sets as pockets of people. And when you experience ad fatigue, it might have just been the pocket of people. It might not even have been your image, your video, or your sales copy. It might have just been the ad set and the pocket of people. And this is a massive nugget because I'm giving away. This is a lot. This is a lot of sauce. But I've I've simply just duplicated ad sets and clicked launch, and it completely takes off from the previous ad set that reached a different pocket of people. And you can do that two or three, maybe even four times, and you're gonna get the results. Or it could just be that your creatives and your sales copy is shit. Now, when actually creating copy, just it has to flow. It has to flow, and the most important thing I believe is the hook in your video or in your sales copy, the first two lines. Those are absolutely necessary to get down. And you can tap into different feelings, different emotions, pain, fear, pleasure, whatever it is, to kind of get that initial hook. Now, what another unique thing to kind of keep in mind is understanding your target audience. And that starts with doing deep niche research. In any niche that you're in, I see people jump niches and hop on sales call and they don't know anything about the niche. And that's terrible because the prospects are going to know that, even if you guys are talking about the most basic things. Now, deep niche research, absolutely 100% at a minimum of 15 hours. Because this all goes back, it ties back into creating copy, videos, images, etc. What does your target audience respond to? And it's kind of like the mouse experiment. I can't type right now. The mouse experiments and how the pull of okay, so the mouse experiment, guys, was basically they tested the pull of a mouse with the scent of a cat and with the scent of cheese, and and the findings are as follows. The strength of the pull when it's running from pain, the cat, is stronger than when it's running towards pleasure. But when you combine the two, running from the cat and towards cheese, that's the strongest pull. And this is applicable to anything in life. Like you watching this right now in your journey, what is your why? What are you running from? And what are you running towards? And only you can find that out. And that's going to take time. And I've spoke about this in length in some of my other videos. But applying this to media buying, what is your target audience running from? Are they running from the insurance scammers? Are they running from terrible roofing companies that they don't trust? And what are they running towards? Do they want a good person, a good company that they can trust? Do they want a company that is going to give them quality material and not scam them? And you tap into this because once you tap into this, you incorporate it into your media buying, and then all you do is you just keep testing. Again, the true or one of the things that I kind of preach on this channel is just preaching truth. And the truth is, there is no one size fits all. When I first joined mentorships and started paying for courses and whatnot, I thought there was just going to be one thing that would make media buying easy, make my clients stay longer. Just one thing I could say on a sales call that would make me the sale. No, it's not. It's not like that at all. It takes time and high intention and just repetition and just figuring out what you did wrong and what you did right, and just keep doing that over and over again. And so my advice is test everything, tap into this, understand the experiment I talked about, understand the KPIs, the bottom line things, ad sets, targeting, whatever it so be. Test everything. If you're new to this video is definitely going to help you. 100% this video is going to help you. And I did give away a lot of sauce. And but the truth is, I don't think. I mean, hopefully, those watching this, it'll resonate with you, and you're actually going to use the advice I'm giving you and apply it into your own situation. But the bulk of people won't take action, so it's okay, I think. But all right, guys. So this is that. I hope that this 12, 13-minute spiel kind of gives you a little bit of an in-depth understanding into how I think about media buying and what to do once fatigue happens, how to test, how to target, what to do with the ad sets and all of that. All right, cool. And if you guys like this, let me know. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are tailoring to. The most viewed video is media buying, so I kind of just want to extend that video here. I think it only has like 98 views, but it's okay. We're gonna keep going. So that's pretty much that, and we'll see you next. All right, peace.